Hi, my name is Sarah Lackey. I'm one of the social workers with Texas Advocacy Project, and I wanted to give you an update on the development and the progress of our department at Texas Advocacy Project. We have done a lot in a year, and we're excited to see where we are able to continue to grow and expand. We are coming up on a year. I was hired last July. We were able to hire our second social worker earlier this year who's both English and Spanish speaking. And thanks to a generous grant from the Meadows Foundation, we are currently interviewing for our third social work position, which is wonderful because we definitely have enough work for 3 full-time employees. The way that we get referrals is either through an attorney or through an intake specialist. The attorneys are aware of what things social workers can help with, and so they listen for those needs in their calls with survivors. They listen for things like food insecurity, housing needs, mental health needs, need to find a counselor. They also listen for people who are in need of more in-depth, advanced safety planning. So situations where it will be very complicated for the survivor to attain safety or to maintain safety. Um, Things like perhaps they have separated, but they still share custody of children, and so they need to safety plan around the exchange of the children. Situations where the survivor is trying to leave, but there's a lot of technology abuse, and so they are not easily able to make phone calls or to use services online because the abusive person may be tracking what they're doing. So in those situations, then we want to be able to work with them in more depth to make sure that they're able to maintain their safety. One program that we have had for the last few months, which has been really a game changer, is we were awarded an emergency housing grant through Health and Human Services. It's called the Pandemic Assistance Emergency Fund, and it allows us to provide emergency housing funds for survivors with children. This could be in the form of rent, it could be in the form of utility payments, and at times it has been emergency hotel stays. This has really allowed us to do some more realistic and timely safety planning to help survivors flee abusive situations. We know that most people who experience intimate partner violence also experience some form of financial abuse. So it doesn't matter sometimes how hard that survivor has worked, how much money they make. If there is financial abuse in play, they may not have access to any of that money in order to be able to leave. So we have been very lucky to have that housing grant, and we hope to have more of those opportunities in the future. So far in the last year, we have provided social services directly to over 280 survivors of abuse. It's hard to visualize the impact of those services, but one way that I think helps me is to also add in the number of children that are in those 280 households, to get a better picture of who all has been impacted by these services. So when we add in the children, the dependents, we have served over 600 survivors of abuse since last July. So we are very proud of what we have accomplished so far, and we're looking forward to see what we're able to do in the future. Thank you all so much for your support.